Hello everyone, good evening, it's only good evening, good morning everyone, welcome to Talking Reds. Myself and Hooks are back. The Premier League has finished, but we ain't going to stop there, guys. We're not going to stop there. We've got a lot to talk about. Transfers to Liverpool, potential transfers to Arsenal, a fallout between Thierry Henry, the Arsenal fans, and Mikel Arteta. I'm going to cover that as well. And myself and Hooks are going to talk about the Premier League as a whole, Premier League roundup. What was our moments of the season, potential plays of the season, things like that. I don't know if Hooks have got many moments of the season. He might have a couple, but we are going to discuss it anyway. How you feeling, Hooks? How you feeling? Football's finished. Is it good for you that it's finished?
Yeah, man, the season's over for me, man. I don't like 24, 25. It's out of my mind, and it's all about 25, 26. I no longer care about last season. Last season's over. It's just a mere memory in my mind that is long gone now. So yeah, it's finished. 25, 26 is all I'm thinking about now. And look, I haven't even done a review on my own channel of the season because I don't care about it enough. Like it was just so pathetic that I'm just in transfer window mode and preparing for my holiday. Other than that, yeah, football's done.
I think you've been in this mood. I think you've been in this mood that for 3 weeks, haven't you? Ever since pretty much the Tottenham game, Liverpool-Tottenham, when we absolutely sealed the deal. You haven't really been bothered about the season. I know you said the season's done. Champions League, yeah, that left. Could have been a Champions League final tonight.
Yeah,
it isn't what it isn't. So it is what it is. I think you're moving on to next season. I'm still in sort of party mood from last week and things like that. But I still like to go over the season. It's been a successful season for us, but not you. So it is hard to go back on it. But I still like to look back on the times and like where did it go wrong for Arsenal? What games was you thinking that that was it? That was the no more title race for you guys at Arsenal. But yeah, I want to talk about obviously this week's happenings, transfers. Florian, Wirtz, Jeremie Frimpong was announced yesterday. Kerkez and Wirtz are potentially next. Zubimendi still not really fully signed yet. That's still taking a while. Rodrigo has come out and said that he's staying at Real Madrid, so that's definitely not on the cards no more. Obviously, Trent left yesterday as well. I sort of glanced over that yesterday. I wasn't really like that bothered, but I glanced over it a little bit yesterday. But yeah, we'll speak about everything that's happened in the week and the season as well. But yeah, make sure you do, if you are live, make sure you do smash that like, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Welcome to Talking Reds. This is Halftime Hooks and myself, weekly show, speaking about Arsenal, speaking about Liverpool, speaking about Premier League as a whole and football as a whole as well. But yeah, let's start with transfers then, Hooks. Let's start with transfers. Obviously, Frimpong confirmed to us yesterday. I think it's a fantastic signing. Pretty much Trent out the door, Frimpong in the door the same day. That's how you do transfer business. What's your thoughts on the Frimpong one to Liverpool? Because do you think it's a good way of replacing Trent directly at that position?
No, I don't. I don't think he's a good replacement. Like the Frimpong move doesn't really move me, to be completely honest. I mean, it's like the price that it cost. It's like cool. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't really matter. It was only what, £30 million, £29.5 million. So it doesn't really scrape the surface of your bank account. But I don't know, man. Like to me, he's small. He makes you a less physical team. He's not good defensively, and he doesn't provide the attacking threat that Trent does. Like his passing is nowhere near as good as Trent's. His vision is nowhere near as good as Trent's. Like I imagine he'll be someone that, bombs to the byline and whips the ball in. But then I'm thinking, to who? You don't really have too much height in your front line. I don't know. It just seems like a Arnie Slot is Dutch. Need someone that can play on the right hand side. Frimpong is Dutch. Good price. Why not? Just go for him. Maybe I think it makes more sense as like a backup to Salah. In my mind. But hey, there's been loads of times when I thought that a player is not really of the quality required, and then they prove everybody wrong. But I would have thought Liverpool winning the Premier League, I assume they want to go and retain the league. I thought they would have gone for a much bigger statement. Now, don't get me wrong, Wirtz, the follow-up, should that go through, is a massive statement. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Frimpong. I don't know how he came through the Man City academy, so it's not like he's gonna have problems settling in or get homesick or anything like that. I doubt he'll have as much problems adapting to the league as someone that's never been in England before. So I guess that is a bonus. He already speaks the language, so there's not going to be a language barrier. That's a bonus. And if you do bring in Wirtz, there's someone already there that can help Wirtz settle in. Because from what I've heard, they were like pretty much best friends at Leverkusen.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of the reasoning of signing Frimpong as well, to kind of bit of a make weight for bringing in Wirtz as well. But yeah, in isolation, it's not like an amazing deal or anything like that. Like, it's a good piece of financial business, but it's not like, Liverpool are scary.
It's not one that I think it's a deal that needs to be done, but it's not a deal like you said that does stand out and like that scares rivals. I mean, you're seeing it from a rival point of view. I think it's a good signing. I think at the money again, like you said, the money they're paying for it is hardly nothing. We've got 10 million as well from Trent yesterday, so that pretty much pays for the third of what we got for Frimpong. And I think his versatility in his cover for Salah as well, because it's AFCON. We've got to remember it's AFCON coming up this time, so we need someone to cover Salah on that right wing. And at least, he's not coming in as the right back. He's coming in as competition for Conor Bradley. So Conor Bradley can cover in certain games, Frimpong cover in certain games. I think it depends on the game for me and who the opposition are. Now we're going to attack. I think what does worry me though with Frimpong is the defensive side of things.
Yeah.
Is more attacking than Trent. I think he does offer. You said that he don't offer as much attacking as Trent. I think he does, but in a different way. Like he's much more like a winger, like you said. I think what he allows then is Salah to get into the box a bit more often, which is what you want as a goal scorer. If as a team, as a tactician, as a manager, you want your goal scorers in that box. You want them in there's places where they're going to have chances, and that's what Salah. I think that maybe get the best out of Salah in terms of that. He's not going to have the passing ability of Trent. Not a chance. We need a DM for that. But I think it is a good signing for what it is. And again, I think his character as well he's got an unbelievable character about him. I think he'll be brilliant for the dressing room. And I'll tell you one thing: he will put effort in, and that's all you want to give us. That's the first thing that you need to do as a football player for these teams is effort. Yeah. Talent comes with that and then after. But yeah, I think at the price it is, I think it's one of them like you said, if it don't work out, it don't work out. But I'm happy with the signing. But like you said, Florian Wirtz next. That is a statement side. That does make rivals sit up a little bit. That really does. I've seen a few rivals this week not panicking, but like, if they get him. I've even said someone said the league's done if they get him. That's how big of a sign that is.
I don't think I'll go that far, to be honest. Like, you need a lot more than just Wirtz for, at least for me, to think that the league is done. And I mean,
I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that either.
Just on the flip side of like, me not thinking that Frimpong will blow everyone away, and then he could prove otherwise. It could be the flip side for Wirtz. Everyone's assuming he's just gonna come in and provide this magical element, and he could flop. So yeah, I think like a lot of people are judging it on paper, and on paper it looks really good. Like on paper, really good. Like he's arguably the best number 10 in the Bundesliga. I mean, as a player, I personally prefer Musiala, But the conversation in Germany is it Wirtz? Is it Musiala? That's pretty much the kind of debate that goes on over in Germany. And yeah, I don't know. Like I still feel like, for me personally, to go, yeah, Liverpool will probably go and retain the league. I would need to see Kerkez come in. I would need to see Wirtz come in, because although it seems like they're close, they're still not over the line yet, and anything can happen between now and then.
I'm not fully jumping on the wagon yet. I
Yeah,
know if there's any club in the world, I've said this before, if there's any club in the world that fumbles this, it's us.
yeah, and I would need to see an upgrade on the left, very similar to Arsenal. I would need to see an upgrade on the left wing, and I would need to see an upgrade in the 9. And if Liverpool went and did all of that, then I would be like, okay, yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it really. Well, obviously, aside from the fact that all these players will have to gel, and AFCON is going to impact Liverpool probably more so than Arsenal and Manchester City. But I would say, yeah, if you go and do all of that stuff, Liverpool probably are strong favourites to go and retain the league, because like I feel like Arne Slot's proven himself to be tactically astute and be able to like carve open different types of football played against him. So, and I have the feeling that with like the Frimpong and the Kerkez, what you're actually trying to, and the Wirtz, I feel like you're trying to move to the more, I guess, Dutch football of total control and overload and just yeah.
Just blowing
Just
teams out the water, basically. You want to blow teams out the water. I think that's what we're trying to do. This season, we wasn't doing that. There's games where I think we were too. I said, Pep and Arteta and Slot are quite similar in terms of the way they want to keep the ball a lot,
yeah.
but I think it ruins the game sometimes. I think sometimes you just got to go for it, and I think players like Frimpong, Kerkez is certainly that. But the thing I've a worry about that when you talk about Kerkez and Frimpong specifically, the right back and left back positions, we're so attacking on that. And Gravenberch in the defensive minded state. We spoke about this last week. We need another defensive minded player in there because Kanate and Van Dijk be left on their own a lot.
You're with, do you know what? Yeah, a midfield three of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Wirtz is very weak. Like physically, very weak. Like like Liverpool, like there's every potential that physically you'll get bullied in the midfield, and not even against the bigger teams. Like I'm talking even against a Crystal Palace have a physically stronger midfield, that like you're really going for the technician thing. Like Slot's really going for the. Do you remember Wenger?
It needs to be a full balance, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think there's balance there. Like if you're gonna go with McAllister and Wirtz, I feel like you need someone like Baleba.
Yeah.
At the base, like someone that's a physical presence. Like I don't know, man. Gravenberch, he's very good at the 6, but he's not the most physical. And I feel like because the thing is, yeah, a lot of people are gonna be annoyed with what I say, but people forget I've seen Wenger do this. I've seen Wenger deploy a whole midfield of technicians, and it doesn't work in the Premier League. It just doesn't work in the Premier League. Like even when like Man City have dominated, like they've still had, like, for example, Yaya Toure, animal. Kevin De Bruyne is big. Like he's still a big presence. They had Fernandinho, physical.
Now Rodri.
Yeah, now they got Rodri, big, physical, and can play. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, don't get me wrong, all of those players are good, like very good. Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberch, good. They're all very good players, but they all lack the same thing, and that's physicality. And we can't ignore that in the Premier League, you need a bit of physicality. Like there has to be a balance. You know, my manager decides to go all the way to the other end of the spectrum and build a team full of UFC fighters, and it seems like Slot's going all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum and wants everybody to be Jogo Benito playing cage football in Rio de Janeiro. So yeah, I think it's just about, and look, the window's not even open yet. So there's every possibility that you do go and grab like a more physical presence in the midfield. Like the fact that you're going to spend about 130 million British pounds on Wirtz proves that FSG are more than willing to spend money this summer. So yeah, let's see what happens.
I was going to actually bring Szoboszlai up as well. I think he's right. Without Szoboszlai in the midfield, it's a bit silky, but I'm going to bring Szoboszlai up as well because without Szoboszlai this season, his energy, it doesn't allow Gravenberch and McAllister to do what they want to do. You need someone that's going to do the dirty work. Yeah. Every single midfielder's had that sort of player, even if it's like not everyone. Like going back over the midfield, Lampard had Makalele next to him, and then he had Kante later on in stage as well. Even like Ramirez, who used to do dirty work, and Essien used to do dirty work at the same time. Gerrard would have had like Mascherano in there at times. The big ones again, Vieira, he could get the dirty work, but then he had Gilberto Silva that would do dirty work at the times. You need someone that's going to not just have energy, physicality, but energy as well, up and down the pitch, making sure the technical players can be technical players. And like I said, there's no, like you said, I think I agree with that in terms of no balance. I think just directly putting Wirtz in there as Gravenberch, and all I see online, like I don't know if people have ever kicked a ball. People that I see sometimes online, they do these teams. Next season's team is this. It's going to be Kerkez, Frimpong, either wing, and then you got a midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Wirtz with Diaz, and it's like, where's the balance? And where you're literally going to go gun leather for every team and leave so many big gaps to where that's what I just said there. Konate and Van Dijk will have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
By themselves because of that. I think it's all right putting all these together. It doesn't work like football doesn't work like that. It needs to be a team of people that's going to make everyone else better around them. It's got to be a balance of things. And that's why that DM is so important. Someone like it doesn't even have to be a physical guy like Baleba. It has to be someone that's defensively minded. That's if they're going to sit there, they can control the game, or they sit there and sit and be a physical person. That's why like a Stiller for me is perfect in terms of the way Slot wants to play. Adam Wharton would be brilliant.
Yeah,
a player like that, you don't realise how a 6 is such an underrated position. It really, really is, and that's how important Gravenberch has been this season. Because without Gravenberch having to alternate his game, we wouldn't have won the league. Because that 6 is absolutely vital. Look at Man City without Rodri.
Yeah, I think 6 is the most important position on the pitch, personally.
It's huge. It's literally the difference between attack and defense,
especially in modern football. Like if you don't have a 6 that's able to connect like play between the defense and the offense, then you're pretty, in this day and age, at least at the high level, you're pretty much screwed. So yeah, but I don't know. Like I feel like if you are gonna go for a midfield like that, you need to kind of do what like Man City and Arsenal do, where everyone in your back line is pretty much like a beast when it comes
to back. Yeah.
Like that's the only other way I can think of solving it. But I just feel like with Frimpong bombing up the pitch, Kerkez bomb. In all fairness, Kerkez is pretty big, but Kerkez is someone who's definitely like more offensive minded, bombing up the pitch. Like you're just like you're leaving yourself open so much. Like a team that would actually properly take advantage of something like that is Chelsea.
Yeah, on the Newcastle. Newcastle did. We got absolutely out battled.
Even like a Brentford, well, depending on if they are able to keep Mbumo, but like you'll be so susceptible to transit. Like you'll be putting so much pressure on Van Dijk and don't get me wrong, I think Van Dijk can definitely handle it. Because Van Dijk is like, he's like creme de la creme when it comes to defending. But we all know Kanate has that moment in him that.
And the
Well,
injury prone as well.
I love to see
The
it as
injury
a rival.
proneness as well.
Yeah, I love to see it as a rival. But if I was a Liverpool fan, it would frustrate me to no end. So, but yeah, let's see how Slot builds this team. You know, at the very least, like you're gonna be anywhere from first to third. Like next, I don't think you're gonna fall. I don't think that you're ever gonna see, at least for the next maybe 5 years, you're not gonna see Liverpool fall out of that top 3 spot. So, yeah, I guess it all depends on what other teams do around you.
People say, why didn't Endo play more game time? I think with Endo though, unfortunately, Endo he does a job, and he has done a job this season. He has seen games out, but at the end of the day, is the age that he is, and it's simply not the the level that Liverpool really need. And I like keeping Endo. I won't mind keeping Endo back. If we never need anyone like that to see a game out, then it's perfect. But we still need a class 6 for me. Someone that can either rotate with Gravenberch in certain games, a bit like Frimpong and Bradley, or someone that can push Gravenberch a little bit further forward. Big up says Kingburn. How are we doing this morning, mate? Maka is odd man out. Maka does put in work. I think he's probably a lot of workhorse that it goes underrated, but he's a small lad, like I said. He's not very, very physical. Grav will drop back as third centre back, like Fabinho used to do, but that's taking a lot away from Gravenberch if he does that. That really is taking a lot away from Gravenberch to do that. Fabinho is a proper centre DM, so he can slot easily back into a centre back position. To be honest, lack of physicality is why we're selling Elliott. We could play Grav and Sob just behind Mac 10 and Wirtz floating around in some games. I mean, Wirtz can play off the left if that's the way we're going about it, because there is talk about Diaz potentially going as well. Kerkez can do a job in once in a while. Kerkez is all right, but again, I won't want him in that DM position. He doesn't know how to defend. Maybe Soboslai on the left pivot. Will Liverpool possibly play wing backs with Kerkez and Wirtz coming plus centre backs? I can't see Slot changing his formation. I can't see playing wing. I can't see him playing 3 centre backs and then two wing backs. I can't see him doing that. If I'm honest, where was the physicality versus PSG? We do focus too much about physicality in the Prem. Yeah, that was technicality. I think they're outplayed against PSG. But regarding physicality, you need them in the Prem. Newcastle, watch that Carabao Cup final back again and watch how he was absolutely outran in that midfield. And it doesn't help that the fact that they're all grounded into ran into the ground as well for the season. Still have a proper striker more than a 10. Can you guys imagine another scene when Jota Darwin? Darwin's gone. Darwin's absolutely gone. It's just replacing him now. And Diaz being sold could be part of that. I think with a Wirtz deal, right, I think it's taken a long time because we're really worrying about how much we're spending already. I really believe that, because this is why we're seeing now Diaz might be going out the door, because we do need to sell players to get that money back most of the time. We have been sell to buy. I'm not saying we are going to be fully sell to buy this time, but FSG will want that money back, that Wirtz money. I'm telling you that now. So, and Diaz, really, I'm not bothered if he is sold, if we get someone better, but we shouldn't be really looking to sell him to bring in Wirtz, if that makes sense, because Wirtz really should be going in as the number 10.
Yeah. If you're selling Diaz, it has to be bringing in someone else for the left wing. Like, you can't, if you sell Diaz and you sign, do you know what? If you sign Wirtz, but then you let go of, like, I don't know, Diaz, and then maybe you let go of Nunez, and then you bring in like some okay striker, then I'll be looking at your window a lot worse. Yeah. So I'm making, obviously I don't know the ins and outs of Liverpool, but from an outsider's perspective, it looks like FSG are ready to spend money and like invest and back Slot. Now, obviously, time will tell, and obviously all the Liverpool fans can probably tell me if I'm way off, but just from an outsider's perspective, whenever you see a club willing to spend 130 million, or I guess over 100 million on a player, it always is signifying that the board is willing to back the manager.
Do you think it could be a case of we've got Wirtz, got Frimpong, got Kerkez, that's it now, unless we sell someone, we're not getting anyone else?
I don't know. Potentially. Look, Kerkez is going to be about 40-ish. million. And then you got Wirtz, which is going to be around about 130. And then you got Frimpong, that's 30. So that's about, give or take, around about 200 million spent already. Now, that's not really, that shouldn't be a lot of money for Liverpool, considering that you won the league and all the prize money that you get.
And the sales that we're going to do. Sales should get at least 250 million back.
Yeah,
if all
like,
the sales go ahead.
But I'm speaking even without the sales. Like, I'm speaking
even
if you made no sales, 200 million shouldn't be an amount of money that Liverpool spend and then go, oh shit, like we need to sell loads of players before we can invest again. Like, you just won the league. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know what? Liverpool fans will hate this, but this is why Manchester United was so successful under Sir Alex Ferguson, because whenever they would win, they would always invest big from a position of power.
Go again. That's how you do it.
That's how you.
Pep Guardiola said that himself. Pep Guardiola has said that himself. He had I don't know if you saw the interview with Rio Ferdinand. He said, "How do you keep doing it?" And he said, "Well, like Fergie did. You don't sit there still. You invest every single season. You make sure you're top and you stay top. You do. You refresh the team up. You keep it flowing." And that's what we didn't do last time. That's what we didn't do last time. And we're so still. Now it's seeming like, hang on a second, we might not stand still. This is exactly what everyone's been asking from FSG for a long, long time. This is why FSG has got so much valid criticism, and it's been valid criticism. Now we're seeing that, hang on a second, you're a bit more ambitious. We can actually go back to back here. We can go create a legacy. We can go create a dynasty, which Klopp should have been that guy.
Yeah.
In the first place, but we didn't. It is what it is. Slot might be that guy. They've got a chance now this season to do that. Wirtz is a perfect signing for that. Brilliant signing. But then address the striker position, address the DM, and address maybe another centre back as well. Don't just sit still and rest on our laurels like, oh, we've got Wirtz now. That's it. That's your big money signing. That's what you wanted, isn't it? No, it doesn't work like that. We need to make sure we've got to address every single issue that we've got. So we don't in future years have to rely on panicking and getting other players in. If we address certain positions this year, we're only allowed to like add one player next season, or one player the season after. It helps so much out, and we've gone 3 transfer windows without buying anyone, bar Chiesa. Has been into that centre backs will split with Gravenberch dropping in to make it makes sense for a DM to do that, but Gravenberch, I think it takes a lot away from Gravenberch to do that constantly. The way things are, if we sell Diaz, we'll have one right winger and one left winger. Listening from Los Angeles, good morning, Yuan. What time is it over there in Los Angeles? It's been 6 hours behind. It's number 5 with New York, and it's about 7 hours behind. So good morning to you. LSC for life, he also says there, big boats just found the channel. We are spending big on a forward too. Let's get some more things up here. Wirtz is unavailable player, but unbelievable player, but is injury prone. I won't say he's injury prone. I won't worry too much about his injury just yet. But anyone that comes to Liverpool becomes injury prone instantly anyway. Why not get him Mbeumo at half the price of Ht-Htv, Prem proven? I'd rather get him Mbeumo and put him up front than Ht-Htv. I do not want Ht-Htv. Being told the deal's off due to Sky Germany. Who's that? That better not be Wirtz. Don't give me this. Don't give me any breaking news on Wirtz being deal off. I don't think it is. But it's taking some time because, again, we're trying to agree on collapsed. Kev says collapsed.
What?
What are you saying here, Kev? What are you saying? Right, give me a second, Hooks. Give me a second. This better not be live that is collapsed here.
I can't see anything about it being collapsed.
No, I've not seen anything. You better be trolling. You better be trolling. I'm not. I've not yet to see anything. The last thing I saw was Rodrigo saying he's staying at Real Madrid. The last thing I saw before I came on. Right, Kev said Wirtz deal off. Right, Kev, you better not be trolling. I'll hold you to that word right now, and I'll check myself after stream. But there's nothing that I've seen anyway. Right, Arsenal. Sesko. Does it move you?
He's my second choice. So it is what it is. We need a striker. I would argue we maybe even need 2. my preference is Gyökeres, but if we do end up with Sesko, I can't deny like the qualities that he has does suit the way that Arteta wants to play. So I think we'll see. Hypothetically, we should see someone that does put away more chances than Havertz. But if we do end up signing Šeško, and if it is Šeško that we go with, like Šeško in isolation is not like he's not making.
Yeah, I get that. It's a bit like Ht-Htv. Yeah, he's coming with someone else.
We would still need like a big name signing, like someone that like everyone like unanimously agrees on. Okay, this upgrades Arsenal. Because don't get me wrong, there's loads of people, both Arsenal fans and non-Arsenal fans, that think Šeško upgrades Arsenal, but it's not unanimous. Like we need to go for that, like that one player that everybody got. Ooh, Arsenal mean business, and I don't think people look at the Šeško deal and go, ooh, Arsenal mean business. I think people look at it and go, okay, Šeško, he's got a lot of raw potential. He's probably going to be one of the better strikers in the world in like 2, 3, 4 years. But right now, it's a big risk. And it is a big risk. And personally, like if we was to bring in Šeško without bringing in another striker, i.e. a Gyökeres, I feel like Arteta's putting a lot of pressure onto Šeško because whatever striker comes into Arsenal, the fans are expecting them to do something.
They're expecting to be the saviour, aren't they? Because that is what you're missing. They're expecting them to be, this is you, this is your moment.
So with great power comes great responsibility. Like that's what it's going to be for whoever goes into the 9 for Arsenal. And I feel like to put that on a 21-year-old is insane.
It reminds me of Man United and getting Højlund.
It could turn out similar. It could turn out.
When Højlund came in, he had potential to be good, really good, but he came in by himself. A young lad being a number 9 at Man United is a lot of pressure.
And it's like I feel like why Arteta because he wanted him in May and then he wanted him again in January. I feel like the reason why Arteta really wants him is because he wants to avoid the same scenario that happened with Isak. So we didn't go for it. In the end, we didn't go for Isak because we looked at things like his goal scoring record. The numbers, they didn't look great. And then look what Isak became. And I feel like that's given Arteta a bit of PTSD. There we go. Got there in there.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's looking at Šeško and he's going, I feel like there's a possibility that Šeško can have a similar trajectory to Isak. Let's not miss out on potentially the next Isak type player. So it's going to be one of those ones where, if Arsenal sign Šeško, everyone's going to say it's an awful signing. But if Liverpool sign Šeško, oh my God, can see the vision, or Man City sign Šeško, oh my God, what a signing. We can clearly see what Man City are trying to do, or if Chelsea signed him, we clearly see how this improves their project. But if Arsenal sign him, awful player, they don't need him. When we're the one that need a striker the most. Nobody needs a striker more than Arsenal. So we just have to see how it all plays out. I just hope that if we do sign him, we don't sign him for like some of the prices that's been like named in the media, because 93 million for Šeško is absolutely, and even 60. So I feel like so first it was 93 million, then it was 80 million euros release clause, which works out to about 67 million, which I still think is a lot for a striker that in their league only scored 13 goals last season. That 67 million is a bit is a bit crazy. Around the 50 million mark, give or take.
Young lad, still got plenty of potential. Still got a lot of potential. I mean, I did a stream before the Euros. Remember the Euros last year? I did a stream on it, and I did like a special Euro stream. I think Benjamin Sesko was one to watch for me, a player to watch for the tournament, and he did pretty well actually for them. is one of many few players to Slovenia, but he's very, very good. I think he offers a lot more than just goal scoring. He offers his link up players, speed, his ability to shoot. By the way, from outside the box is very good, very underrated as well. So I think he's a good player. But like you said, it's a bit like Ht-Htv. It's a bit like Ht-Htv with us. If we get Ht-Htv as our striker, I don't think he has to come. He needs to come with someone else. I think I'd rather get Jota and Nunes both go, and Ht-Htv another sort of someone, another goal scorer next to him, because Ht-Htv again is like a project player, not proven. He's been in the French league, didn't work. He's scored a few for Frankfurt this season, but the Frankfurt player that I wanted was Marmoush. We're seeing that in the Premier League now, how good he is. But yeah, I think it's quite similar. But I think Sesko is better than Ht-Htv though. I think Gyökeres should be number one for you. Now he's pretty much off the board with Liverpool and Arsenal. Really, I think Gyökeres should be number one for you. And if you can't get him, then get a Sesko and maybe someone else alongside Sesko. Maybe like a winger that can score goals. Because Martinelli just isn't doing it, is he?
Yeah, Martinelli is. Do you know what? It's not just Martinelli. Our whole left wing this season has been absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. So yeah, we need a bit of spice on the left hand side. Do you know what I mean? We need a bit of spice on the left hand side. Yeah. Otherwise, we're in for a very, very
long season again.
Yeah, very long season again.
I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of spice, things got spicier on the overlap this week with Thierry Henry talking about Arsenal. A lot of Arsenal fans being a bit pissed off with Thierry Henry. I don't know how they're disrespecting the man that made Arsenal what they are. The greatest Premier League player of all time, and probably the best Arsenal player of all time. So the disrespect that he's got for me this week has been way out of hand. And I don't think he got it wrong either. He wasn't saying Arteta's not good enough. What he was saying is, in the 3 years that has been up and around the top, you should have won a trophy. Yeah. You've had the perfect chance to win trophies. This season should have been your season. Man City dropping off, you should be the next one to step up because you came second last year. Do you think he said anything wrong?
No. I actually agree with everything they said.
It's standard.
Yeah, it's just that, like, especially when it came to the stuff around like injuries, like, I don't know, who am I going to listen to more? Thierry Henry, who played football at the highest level for the majority of his life, who had injuries himself, who also has been a coach and had to think about injuries, or am I going to listen to Arteta Beast 216 on Twitter, who thinks that
is that a real name, by the way? If you just call it,
no, I just off the top of my, like, these men that love Arteta always got a new name. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why I can't believe how many people are defending Arteta when Thierry Henry actually never mentioned Arteta's name once. He actually never mentioned Arteta's name once. Like, he's just and the thing is, Henry's speaking from a place of like passion. Like, he's got a statue outside the stadium. He supports the club. he's been at our club twice. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, you can always see like how like close he feels about the club, and it feels like when I feel down about the club, I feel like Henry feels down about the club. If that makes sense.
Yeah. He's a fan. He's a fan now.
Yeah, like the same way that I feel down is how he feels down. The only difference is, you know, he goes back to his mansion to feel down, and I go back to a normal house and bills and all of that stuff. And yeah, but he's just sad in a better place. Do you know what I mean? So I don't get the, like,
people saying like, oh, he's just jealous of Arteta because he's not the Arsenal manager. Why would he be jealous? Like, the guy is living the dream. He's just talking about football, getting paid on the best jobs that he can. And at the end of the day, if he wants to be manager, then fair enough. But I don't think he's jealous of Arteta, the position.
Jealous of Arteta is crazy because Henry has won like everything in football. Do you know what I mean? Like he don't. There's not much he could want for in foot. Like yeah, maybe his managerial career hasn't gone the way that he would have wanted it to, but he's still young. He can still go back into go back into managing at any point in his life. And let's be honest, like all Arteta's won as a manager is a FA Cup.
I'm gonna say, what's he jealous of?
Yeah, like I don't know what there is to be jealous of. One FA Cup.
Arteta's like one of the most hated men around right now in terms of the rivals and of Arsenal fans, some Arsenal fans. So I don't know what he's jealous of, because right now I wouldn't want to be Arteta right now. The pressure on him right now.
But I don't know if there is pressure, man. Too much of the fan base like fall to their knees for Arteta. Like Arteta can do no wrong. There's always some sort of excuse made for him. Maybe even going for Šeško is like a preloaded excuse. You're like, oh, he's young, he still has to grow. And it's like, well, but we needed something this season. And it's like, well, I just feel like buying project players, youth players, well, I wouldn't go as far as say youth because he's 21, but young players that still have a lot of room to develop. Like he's off 6 years off when a striker usually enters their prime. So he still has loads of years to develop, right? I just feel like it's more building for the future. Like, how can we be building for the future when our present isn't sorted? To me, that seems a bit, I don't know, it seems a bit odd. And I guess it all stems from the messaging of the manager. At this point, it can only really stem from that, right? Like, you know, we have to accept whether we like Arteta or not, we have to accept that he has a lot of the final say at what goes on at Arsenal. He does. It just is what it is. And that's fine. Like if that's what the club has decided, that's fine. But if you're gonna give someone that level of power, I feel like the level of accountability that person has to take should be equal to the power that they have. Otherwise, what's the point? Like you're just getting all this power, but don't have to worry about any of the consequences.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make
You've got
sense.
to be accountable.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, what's the point? Like it's basically, I'm getting 15 million a year. It doesn't matter what happens as long as I finish in the top 4. Like it doesn't really. You know what I mean? Isn't like because then in that like the fans are left in an awkward place. Do you know what I mean? We're left between a rock and a hard place because it's like we want to see Arsenal do well, but we don't believe that we can do well under you, but you're not going to go because there's no accountability on you. And let's have it right. If I was the manager of Arsenal and I'm doing let's just say I'm the manager of Arsenal and it's panned out the exact same way that it has for Arteta, I'm not walking away from a club that I love that pays me 15 million a year.
No. Why would you? Yeah. Why would you? And this is why then the arguments among the fans come across.
Yeah.
And this is why it gets, because at the end of the day, Arteta should be the one that said, look, hang on a second. We said this last week about taking accountability for what's happened this season. And yeah, injuries play a big part, red cards play a big part, but he's got to be the one that looks in the mirror first. Red Goal says here, guys, can you address the chat that someone is claiming Wirtz? Can you tell us if it's BS or not? I've looked on Wirtz. There's nothing on Wirtz, so don't worry about Wirtz. He's still on the way to Liverpool according to things, so don't worry about that one. Fake Punter says, big up panel and chat. Big up. How are we doing this morning? This afternoon now, isn't it? I said morning when I opened up, but it is afternoon now. But yeah, right. This season in Hooks, obviously Liverpool Arsenal pretty much was the title race for I say majority, half. It was a weird title race because I've never had a title race where it's like there's no pressure put on you. At what point?
I don't think it was a title race. Like in hindsight, we can say
to a certain extent it was, and then yeah.
No, I don't think it ever was. In hindsight, I think we can say this now. Like I don't think there's ever been a point in the season that we've been within touching distance of you.
On the spreadsheets you were.
Yeah, I just mean like in hindsight, like just look back and you go, yeah, just Arsenal was never close. Nobody was close. So I think Liverpool won another league without a title race, and that's why it's annoying. Nobody put pressure on you.
Yeah.
And it's super frustrating. And like, this is why I'm annoyed with Arsenal, because when we was trying to win the league last season and the season before, we had a team that put immense pressure on us, which is why we didn't win it. So why is it when the roles are now flipped and reversed and we have to put pressure on someone else, we just give them the league for free? Pretty much. You weren't even running away with the league. Like, it came to a point where you just walked away with it. Just like, you looked back and you was like, oh, nobody's there. Okay, little stroll, might as well save my energy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's like, overall, like, it's well, at least from a Premier League perspective and FA Cup, because the FA Cup was awful. We got knocked out early to Manchester United, of all teams, on penalties. Aside from the Champions League, where, you know, it is what it is, got to the semi-final, probably should have done better. But when you play teams of this caliber in the semi-finals, it's like anything can happen. The Carabao Cup, yeah, cool, we got to the semi-final, but I feel like we just capitulated in the semi-final. Like, we got beaten by Newcastle home and away 2-0. Like, I don't feel like at any point in that semi-final we was ever really in the tie, like, ever really looked like we was gonna win it. So I just feel like this season it could have been so much better. But now I just have to do what I have had to do as an Arsenal fan, at least when it comes to the bigger trophies, like the Premier Leagues, and that I have to just look to next season again, like I have been for the last like 20 years. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Netflix,
yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's frustrating, but that, like, this might actually be the worst season of football in my life, because I lost the league on my birthday. Liverpool won the league on my mum's birthday. Tottenham won a trophy, and Chelsea won a trophy. So it's like, whoa, like, I don't know how much worse a season can get for a fan. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I ain't done no review. I ain't gonna do no review for after review. Season's done. It's over. 25-26. That's all I care about at the moment, innit? So yeah, man.
There was one point though. There was a point that we sort of give you a chance to get back in it. And like I said, you think there wasn't no title race. I think there was a title race to a certain extent, maybe that December time, and then it sort of fell away. But I think we give you a chance to get back in the title race. And this is when I said we're champions. After this game is when I said we're champions. That was when West Ham beat you.
Yeah.
At the Emirates.
My
because
birthday.
That period of fixtures that we had, we're due to Everton in our game that we had in hand. We're due to Aston Villa. We scraped past Wolves in that time. You beat Leicester 2-0, and that was late on Marina double. And that was a game that I thought, Arsenal don't do this. Arsenal don't do this, like, late win, sort of get the win and go. This could be a big month for the title race. We had Man City the Sunday then, away. You had West Ham at home on that Saturday. That if you beat West Ham in that game, I think we go into that game against Man City in a different mindset. The pressure is on against Man City. Because you lost to West Ham, we beat Man City on that Sunday at Etihad. And that morning, I was so relaxed for the game. Because at that point, I thought, yeah, Arsenal not giving any pressure at all. They've just had West Ham at home.
Yeah.
It's done. Were there any... I know it was a shit season for you, but were there any times that you thought, what was the best moment of the season? Was it Real Madrid? Must
probably.
have been.
Yeah, probably Real Madrid. Probably.
It's just, for you, it's just lead to anything.
Man City at home felt pretty good, but I'd probably say the biggest moment was probably Real Madrid.
And we played really well in Champions League until the knockout stages. Came up against pretty much a better team at the time, and that's why next season we need to look to improve because PSG were better.
Yeah,
So if we can go on and win the title, but we want to look at the Champions League as well. There's definitely big improvements in both Liverpool and Arsenal going into next season. Pretty much a similar sort of way. We're not that far ahead of them. I know we are in terms of points, but in terms of ability, I think we saw the other week when they played each other that we're not that far ahead of them, and we can't again stroll that season. We're not. It's going to be completely different next season. I can absolutely guarantee that. I know there's nothing you can guarantee in football, but next season we're not going to walk with it like that, and it's going to be a title race between either Liverpool, Arsenal, City. Potentially, someone else might push up. I don't, depending on Chelsea who they buy. Newcastle could push on. I think Newcastle want to look out for next season in terms of pushing on because they have got a serious project going on there. They've got to buy well as well. But regarding Liverpool, Arsenal, I'm excited for next season. I know it's just finished. I'm just finished. I'm still in celebratory mode of winning the league, but I really am excited for next season. I'm excited to see if Hooks gets just a little bit more. I want to see hope in Hooks again. I want to see hope in Hooks. It's quite sad to see. I know it's good to see as a Liverpool fan. And it's funny. I think it's funny when he goes off on one, especially talk about this season about Tottenham winning, Chelsea winning a trophy. It's funny watching him, but it's also like I want to see a little bit of hope back into it. Maybe hope then crush it, but I still want to see hope in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I need to see Hooks be happy again. And right now, he's happy. Don't get me wrong, he's happy. But this is what football does to you guys.
Yeah.
He just talks about it being the worst season ever. They come second, and it's the worst season ever because Chelsea won, Arsenal won, Tottenham won, and it makes sense. Like this is what happens when we came second as a Liverpool fan, and Man United would win the trophy. And it's awful.
There was not three because it will be very shameful if Chelsea parade the Conference League, but they may have some sort of barbecue. There was potentially three celebrations in London this year, and not one of them was Arsenal.
Best team in Europe to contact Arteta.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, we need to do something big this summer, man. Otherwise, it's just like probably looking at more of the same next season. So yeah, man.
How much are you hoping for next season? Do you have any hope for next season now? Obviously, but do you think you will address what you need to address?
I hope so.
Every football's got.
Otherwise, why did Berta come? Why did Berta sign? If I still believe that Berta signed because he was guaranteed he would be financially back to sort out the problems in the squad. That's what I believe. So just have to wait and see. The thing is, the transfer window is still not open. It opens tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, for a week.
Yeah, it opens tomorrow for a week. So let's see what Arsenal gets done in that week.
We might see a happier Hooks next week. I do want to see a happy Hooks. Get him happy again for the start of the season, and then I don't mind it crushing through the season. But as long as we get him happy again, we want to see a happy Hooks. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. This afternoon. Make sure you do like this video. So smash that like. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Our race to 750 subscribers is on. We just hit 500 at the weekend last weekend. Thank you everyone that has subbed so far. Join us again next week. Me and Hooks, a weekly show between me and Hooks, talking about Liverpool, talking about Arsenal, talking about the whole football as a whole. And enjoy the Champions League final tonight. As a neutral, we are neutral tonight, but it's going to be a good one. I think it will be a good one. Very, very exciting final tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, guys, and speak to you all very, very